Hello and welcome to creatingforgrace.com. Today we're going to make this super cute kit from the Occasions catalog. This is actually the project kit. It's called Perfectly Wrapped Project Kit, and it has 4 projects and there's 4 of each of the projects inside. So it comes with a coordinating stamp set, which you see here, but I chose to use some that I had at home. And so the stamp sets that I used mainly were Sweet Sayings. I used some Gorgeous Grunge just for some accents, and then on the teeny tiny wishes, just on the little gift boxes, and the only sentiment I used was Just For You. So those are the 3 stamp sets I used, and it was the Perfectly Wrapped Project Kit we had. So this is the cellophane gift bag, this is the treat gift holder, and then this is the 4x4 square box. Actually, I think it's a 3x3, and then these are a 2x2, and they are see-through, and you can actually see the gold accents on those. They're all super easy to make. Everything is pre-done for you. So basically the little flags are done and they're stickers, and so you just fold them over in half on that. Flowers are all pre-die cut, so basically it's just assembly and curling. Really super easy to put together and super cute when it's done. So let's get started. Move these out of the way. First one I'm going to show you how to put together is the gift bag one, and these are the handles for it. This actually holds down the handles once it's together. I've pre-stamped all of the tags and sentiments for that. I'm going to show you how to do the flags. Really easy. These are the gold clips that actually come with it, and these were the circles. They're stickers, and you do 20 of them in a row, and then all I did was set up one side and flip it over, and so that it's basically squished on the white twine together, and I figured you did not need to sit here and watch me do a bunch of little gold dots, so that's why I did those. Shape your handles so they're curved. Like I said, we pre-did the tags, so the last thing that we needed to do was these little flagged bits that come pre-adhesive. So I'm going to start with, you'll see once you unpack these, there are actually 4 of the black and whites and then 2 of each of the others. So you're going to use more of these, and I left probably about a 1/2 inch off to the side there. You want to fold those pretty even so you have no white space around. And then I just kind of went back and forth with some different colors. And the final mint macaron. So what I did is I actually took some Scotch tape. I thought it would make life a little bit easier. And I usually put some kind of, can't think of the word for it right now, tissue paper inside my bag. So it's going to cover up anything that we do on the inside and keep things a little easier for us. And then you can see when you lay that down, it falls nicely. I've pre-stamped the Thanks for Being You, and this is where the Gorgeous Grunge is. I use the Mint Macaron, and I also use Peekaboo Peach. And these are just attached right like that. So when it's standing up, this is actually what you see. I do have some tissue paper, and I just fold it like this, and attach that inside. So this is the final project, and these are the little gold dots, and that's it for the gift bag. So the next one that we're going to do is the cello bag, and it actually comes with a different designer series paper, but my friend actually had a stamp camp, and so this is really funny. She used the inserts for some other things. So I ad-libbed on the designer series paper. I did something with the Playful palette, and it's same colors. This is our gusseted treat bag. It's a cello bag. And all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little piece of Scotch tape, because I find that helps it stand up better. And I'm going to place it right along the seam on the bottom once we have that folded over. And then I actually did this at 2 3/4, and then I scored it at 3/4 of an inch and then 1 1/2. So technically, probably if you were to do something decorative for your gusseted bags, I think the 2 3/4 width is perfect. You can go a little higher and have a curve on this with one of the circle dies. I think would look super cute. And then I may go maybe 2 inches back instead of the 1 1/2, but this is 6x6 designer series paper, so typically I think we want to shoot for something that is an 8-inch length. This was 6, and so I was making what I had work. And so those are some little tips and tricks for some stuff when you're doing stuff at home and you may not have like everything that's in the catalog. So that's going to set like this, and then you can either use what I did a small piece of like the tissue paper here, or often you have like that raffia, the little pieces of paper, and then you throw some treats in there. And then fold it just like this. You're going to fold that right over. I've pre-stamped this. This actually came pre-done. Just popped it out. They were pre-cut. And then Peekaboo Peach with the grunge on the background. And these come in the kit as well. These are for the decoration. It is the gold sequin. And then had the sentiment and the clip. And so this is the gusseted cellophane bag, and that is totally put together, and you can see how easy it is. So I'm going to set those aside. That was our project number 2. Our third one is the 2x2 clear box. And I actually did a trick on this. So the flowers came pre-done, and I've stuck those together already. The bow came as pieces, just like you would do with the bow builder punch. And I used our sticky strips. So anytime that we are dealing with something that is going to pop apart or needs to hold paper together strongly, the sticky strip is really amazing from Stampin' Up. It's the tear and tape. This is the 2x2 box. What helps is to squish your sides together a little bit. You want to form that box. When you look at the bottom of the box, you're going to see that there's a bigger portion right here. I'm going to fold down. These are the 2 side portions. They have little tails that just tuck right underneath there. And this last side, you're going to tuck right inside, and then if you turn the box over and you give the bottom some pressure, that's great. Now what I did inside the instructions, it says that you need to fill the box before you go on to step number 2, which is doing the rest of the wrapping. I wanted to use these as a display for a huge stamp camp that we have coming up, which is why I was putting this together for a friend. So I went ahead and closed mine, and instead of attaching this fringed tape directly to the box, I actually used mint macaron paper, and I did it at the 10 inches, which is what this is, and 1/4 of an inch width. And then I attached the fringes onto that, and that allowed me to have something that would slide on and off the box, and so I'd be able to display it and then fill it with some kind of treats that I wanted to pass along to somebody later. So what I did to kind of scruff these up is just kind of using my finger to go back and forth a little bit. On that cardstock that I cut at 1/4 of an inch by 10 inches, I scored every 2 inches because I knew my box was 2 inches by 2 inches every direction. So this little top layer, you can kind of squish that together, and then I left the bottom flat because we want that to be able to sit and not stand up. I added some sticky strip on the bottom already, so I'm going to peel that back. I'm going to wrap this right around. Like I said, I had pre-scored that. And I'm not going to go really tight because the point of this is to be able to have it slide on and off. So again, making the sides pretty. I had already done the adhesive for the bow portion. And so I'm going to take a very small piece of the tear and tape. I'm going to add it right to the top. I'm just going to give that even pressure right there. This sentiment says just for you, and there is a black and white twine that is included with the kit. So I'm just going to thread this right through the tag, and I'm going to thread it right through the top of the bow right here. And that way it can sit right up on top of the box if we just gently tie a bow. And then you can see that this will still slide on and off, and you will still be able to add treats into your container, which was important to me. So that is the 2x2 treat container in the cello. It's got the pretty gold foil dots already on it. Do something decorative on the inside would be awesome. The final one is this, which I love. The flowers are all pre-cut, which is amazing. The boxes come with the black and white. It has the cello, which slides off, and you can add your treats and whatever decorative stuff you want inside. Because the flower is all pre-cut, all you're doing is using your sticky strip and layering. So the one thing I did do so I didn't have to show you the whole thing. You can turn this over and you can see this is coiled. It comes as a long strip and it's already fringed. I added a piece of sticky strip on the inside, and I started curling, and then I added a piece of sticky strip to the outside. When I do these things, I actually have a quilling tool, and I don't know if you've ever heard of one. You can do this by hand. It makes it a little easier to stick the end in, and then basically you're just wrapping around the quilling tool until you get to the end, and then you're just closing that off with adhesive. It actually said to use a hot glue gun, but I used the tear and tape, and it attached just fine, so it doesn't come off, and I'll show you how we did that. I'm going to move those out of the way. This is the cello square already done, and this is the box. It is actually just like the 2x2 box, and you might be able to get a better view on how to fold these. And what I do, I like to give a little extra pressure on my corners so that they will sit straight. So when I'm folding that down, I'm actually kind of squeezing a little bit right here. And that last tab tucks right behind all of those, and then flip your box over and you can just push your bottom down. This is going to fit right inside of here, and you're just going to slide this closed. And then I've pre-done the sentiment, and I have some sticky strip on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take off the sticky strip, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull that a little bit so it doesn't go on the inside. I want to be able to put some pressure down where I'm at right there. And so it says, thanks for being you. I've done the spatter from the Gorgeous Grunge and the Mint Macaron, and just a little bit of the wider spatter in the Peekaboo Peach. This is the petals for the flower, and you can see I've went through with a bone folder, and I've done every layer. So when you're doing something like this and you're wanting to curl these flower petals, if you can go through with a bone folder just like that, it's going to help a lot with the way that those look. And so the last thing, to assemble the flower, again with the tear and tape, I think it holds the best. It's the easiest for something like this. So we're going to curve these up a little bit. We've done it with the bone folder, but it reminds me of a lily, like a water lily or something. I'm going to take one last piece of sticky strip. Like I said, you can use a glue gun with this. I found this easier and less messy, so I put that just like that. And when I folded this, you're going to have all this sticking up. So then I did all the way down. So I kind of squeezed that bottom, and then you're just kind of opening up these layers of petals. You're going to set that right in the center there and give it some pressure so that it sticks. And you can tell when I turn the flower on the side, since you've pulled those all the way down, it actually looks really cute like that. The final thing we're going to do is add a little bit of sticky strip. This is the gold sequin trim that we have. We've got it just about in half. I'm going to add it to the back of this gold sequin trim. And I did a little differently. I put one side kind of hanging over each side of the box because I just liked the way that it looked. So you can see that just like that. And I'm going to add some of the tear and tape to the flower. And I'm going to put my finger right underneath here and kind of hold that solid so that we can press that down. These are the leaves that came pre-done with the kit. I've already attached the small and the large together. I just added a piece of the tear and tape on the back, and that is our final piece. So it says, "Thanks for being you." That's the set that I used. That is the finished flower, and that's the final project from the kit. So again, we worked on the Perfectly Wrapped project kit. Has these 4 projects. There's 4 of each inside. It's super, super cute. And if you have any questions, all the information will be in my blog. Thanks so much and have an amazing day. Happy creating.